Kubor nakaslem jong udongsan Hima.
Meant to maintain a fiscal deficit at an annual limit of 4% of the GSDP. The third agenda which was taken up today was regarding the appointment of Secretary of the Meghalaya State Consumer Disputes Redressal, and 5 names were recommended, and out of the names that were recommended, the name of Shri Thailang S. Pinrop, Deputy Secretary retired, has been approved. This is the Secretary to the Meghalaya State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. The next agenda was regarding availing of the NABARD Infrastructure Development Assistance. This is assistance that's given by NABARD to, which in short form it's called NIDA, which is based on the overall revenue earning capacity of the state, and calculation is made accordingly by NABARD. This is a loan component that is used for infrastructural development work, but it does not come into the budgetary provision of the state government. It is implemented through a public sector undertaking, and it is through this fund that we intend to create the infrastructure for the 40 plus blocks that we have. So new buildings will come out. We will also be budgeting about 100 crores for LP schools. We will also be budgeting money for administrative blocks wherever it's required, administrative units like civil subdivision buildings, like DC offices, like SP offices. All these administrative buildings will be done with this fund. And also we intend to invest in police stations and SP offices, as police stations have been neglected for a very long time. So with this NIDA fund, we will see that development and infrastructure improvement throughout the spectrum. That means from blocks to police stations to education institutions will be taken up through this particular fund. So we have put in a proposal of 1,500 crores to NABARD for this fund, and today the cabinet approved that, and now the proposals will be sent to NABARD for final approval and release of the funds to the state government. It has to be repaid, but this is a project, and this is a fund that is outside the budgetary calculation of the state. It will be taken up by a PSU, a public sector undertaking of the state, and as I said, to the tune of about 1,500 crores will be taken up, and this will be repaid in the next 15 years. But as I said, these are important investments that the state government is making, and more importantly, these are funds that come after detailed calculations being made by NABARD, and only the amounts that the state deserves we will get. Other states like Assam government have already applied for this, and they have got approval of close to 10,000 crores of funds for this particular project and scheme, and we're the second state now to take advantage of this particular scheme, at least in the Northeast. It's a step towards improving things. One cannot say we can heal everything. It's a very complicated problem we're having, but it is definitely a step towards ensuring that the transmission, the AT&C losses are reduced, other kind of losses that are there, thefts that are there. All these aspects which are there, it will definitely help in improving it, and definitely will lead to better efficiency of the system. But obviously one cannot say that it will completely heal, but it is a step towards it. I don't want to say that. That's maybe from your side to making the statement. I don't want to say that, but all I'm saying is that there were some complications that were created at a point in time. We're just trying to rectify those complications and figure out how we can resolve this issue. And we had to take a stand, and we took the stand based on the decisions made by the past government. So therefore, we're just trying to correct some of the anomalies and some of the complications that were created in the past. 7.5%, which is much lower than the market rate. So if you go back into the history of how this happened, Initially, when Klera district was created, the cabinet then had decided earlier to shift the block to Wapung. The land was given by the people of Wapung village, and even the infrastructure development had started. And then suddenly there was a decision at the chief minister's level to shift the block from there to Lumshnong. So therefore, it's created a lot of confusion, and of course, people were very concerned about this shift, and it really complicated the situation. What we have done now is we have first going step by step, and first we have corrected that particular change that was made at that point in time. The decision that was taken earlier in the cabinet and foundation stone was laid, block construction started, and then suddenly shifted was something that could have been avoided and should not have been done in that manner. So that's number one. But having said that, we're not saying that the other areas don't deserve. We will examine and we will see which are the areas which require administrative, administrative blocks to come up. Because we've always maintained that taking administration closer to the people is important. There are many locations around Lumshnong area, and there are also locations in Khasi Hills and Jenti Hills and Garo Hills, where people have to travel even today for 50 kilometers to get to a block. And blocks are something that give almost 60-70% of the rural schemes are distributed through the block. So therefore, these are very, very important administrative units. Hence, the government is examining and will see wherever the blocks are required, we will definitely examine and we will move forward with creation of blocks also if necessary. But obviously, we will also balance it out, keeping the financials in mind. So, what we took up was regarding the shifting of the Wapung block. As you're aware, it has already been done, but for formality's sake, this was brought to cabinet, and cabinet approval today was taken. But we had already decided this, and I had already laid the foundation. So this was an ex post facto approval by the cabinet, and the cabinet was unanimous in the decision to shift the Clariat block to Wapung village. So these were the 6 agendas that were taken up today in the cabinet. Today, I've got another 2 meetings.
Passed a resolution demanding repeal of Armed Forces Special Power Act. What is the mind of our government in this?
The Armed Forces Special Power Act has been repealed in Meghalaya in 2018.
In Northeast, and Northeast.
We cannot, as a state government, we cannot pass a resolution for the rest of Northeast. As a political party, I can, but I've always maintained that I don't speak about politics as a party in the secretariat. It's wrong for me to do that. I, as a government, but as you all are aware, that as soon as we came into power, within a few months, the Armed Forces Special Power Act was repealed from Meghalaya. It was an important issue for us, and we did whatever we can, and we thank the government of India for actually, doing it in Meghalaya. Beyond that, obviously, as a citizen, I can say that it's something that we would want it to be repealed from the entire Northeast. But as I said, as a government, we cannot come out with a resolution for Nagaland. Of course, we are with the people of Nagaland as an individual, as a citizen. But as I said, I can only speak within the jurisdiction of Meghalaya, and it has been repealed already in Meghalaya. So the question of a resolution, that aspect is not arising. Taken up in the cabinet was the proposal for the action plan on the revamped distribution scheme, revamped distribution sector scheme, RDSS. This is a scheme that has been implemented by Government of India, Power Ministry, where revamping of the distribution systems and the distribution sector overall is going to be taken up for a period of 5 years. And the Government of India has sanctioned 3,05,984 crores for this particular project. And this will be obviously affecting all the states. In the first phase, we as a state are also proposing to take this up, and hence the cabinet today cleared the proposals, and now this proposal will be put up to Government of India, Power Department. Through this, we will be getting funding from Government of India to the tune of 1350 rupees per meter as subsidy, and this will also be supported as a 90-10 grant from Government of India. That means 90% of the infrastructure will be paid by Government of India and 10% by us for the infrastructural part. For the metering, as I was mentioning, 1350 will be given by Government of India, and whatever is over and above that will be given to the private sector that will partner with Government of Meghalaya to implement those smart metering projects that are left in the state. So this is a project that will be approximately 2,500 crores of money will be invested. This will be one of the biggest projects that will be taken up. And this, as I said, is a scheme that has been envisaged by the Government of India. And 3 lakh crores is going to be given out to different states. And out of that, Meghalaya has put in a proposal of 2,500 plus crores for this scheme. So this also today was approved.
So, for how many years this is going to?
No, so this scheme is a scheme that has been brought for next 5 years by the Government of India and will be implemented through the REC. As I said, 3 lakh crores is what the Government of India has sanctioned for the whole country, and out of that 2,500 crores is what we have proposed, or at least we are making the DPR. And as I said, this is a component where we will be having a model where we will be having metering happening, which will make about close to 1/8 of the project. That means about 12-13%, 14% of the project is metering, and rest of the 85% of the project is actually improvement in the distribution lines. So these projects, of course, by the time we implement it, it may take us about 8 to 9 months to actually process the project. So implementation may start towards the end of next year. If we are able to complete it before 2023, the implementation, then we will get further incentives, especially in the metering. As I was mentioning, the metering component, about 1350 rupees, is going to be given by the Government of India. If we are able to implement it better and on time, then another 600 rupees will be given additionally per unit of the meters that are there. And as I said, these will be done in a kind of a capex opex model, which is a new term called topex model. That means total model. It includes capex and opex both together. And Government of Meghalaya will not have to spend a single rupee on the metering. So the funding will come from REC, Government of India, and the rest will come from whichever partners and with us. And as I said, the infrastructure part 90-10, which is 90% from grant from Government of India and 10%. So this is a great opportunity for us to actually revamp. It's a great project, and we thank the Government of India for coming out with this project. And we should take advantage of this at the earliest. So we are moving very fast, and we should be submitting our proposals, as I said, within the next few days.